everyone, Steel Horse here. Welcome back to Silverrun Forest Farm. We're in August, and we're just loading up that bale that was orphaned last time, so that we can get on with sort of the next job we've got going. So Jake's been quite busy since last time. We've pulled most of the trees out onto the field. He's cut a bunch up. He'd taken a container to the terminal, which is why the bank balance is looking a little bit healthier. And he's just thinking. He brought down the rock crusher this morning, and there's just a couple of rocks that need busting up over here, so we'll deal with those. Just quickly to finish tidying up, and then we can mark this field out properly. So there's easily another probably 2 containers of wood on the field there. So it's just a matter of, there's a stump over there. That rock down is probably getting close to the water's edge, so we won't worry too much about him. We stuck on another stump would be my guess. Yes, we are. So we've just got to spot the rocks as we drive around. But yeah, 2 more containers of timber that we can take out when we get a chance. The priority is just to keep chipping away at this, and while he's been working, it's still a month or so till we need to put a crop back in. But while he's been working, the brain's been ticking over, and with the purchase of that block at the end of the last episode, he's kind of cooking up a bit of plan. He's been talking to Buff again, and so if you don't recall, Buff is the bloke that runs the wood chip collection business. There's a Sellpoint just right up at the farm. That Buff's the guy that comes and clears away the wood chips. He's been running that as a sort of a bit of a side business for a while, and so Jake's gotten to know him as he's pops in every now and again. Anyway, the idea that they've been hatching is maybe there's an opportunity for firewood, particularly with all these offcuts and bits and pieces that seem to be around the place. And one thing and another, Wolf seemed to think it wasn't a bad idea, so what they've done is on that block of land, it's kind of the catalyst for getting started, but on that block of land that we bought last time, they've fenced off a little area beside the store, which they reckon will work particularly well. Might do us for that job, I think. You can see he's dragged all the logs into a pile here that ready to be processed. But we'll go over there in a minute and have a look at what they've been doing beside the farmers market. Just want to run a boundary edge with the plough around this field just to get us started and get a sense of how big an area we're going to have. So let's see here. Let's unfold the plough. Turn it around because I think we want to control the line on the other side. Drop you around about, I reckon, somewhere on that sort of an angle. Maybe even a little steeper will do the trick. Let's see. So we need to create fields. And away we go. We don't want to go all the way over that rise because that'll create havoc with farm equipment. And I think we'll keep just inside that rock that we left as we take this line here. You can see there are a couple of stumps that we'll need to deal with. We will need to bring the skid steer back and put the mulcher back on the front of it. There is another rock in there that we missed. And if we sort of run up this line here pretty straight, I think, until we get to the area that we want to turn alongside the tracks. So that's looking pretty good. And then we want to run, leave plenty of safety room with the train. There's a rock there that we don't want to pick up. Just run straight down here, I reckon. Maybe we could move it over just a half a width again. Although if we leave just a little bit of room, we can plant trees down the strip there. Might be the go. It's reasonably smooth. There are a couple of piles of stones that we'll have to take out. There is a tree there that we didn't pull out into the field. Looks like a bush. And there's a little bit of grass that we can sort out down here to the corner. Put a curve on, I think. Don't want to get super close to the fence there. And leave tracks width up the fence line, I think. Just in case we've got to get round the field. When it's all said and done, this will increase the size of the field a reasonable amount, I think. We don't need to be ploughing the field here, so we'll stop when we get to the edge. We can potentially swing that around and just take it back a little bit closer to the fence down that sort of line there, I think. Sort of meandered in a little bit further than I expected. crops are all coming along well. The other job that needs doing is the pasture by the riding school does need to be cut. So we should get someone on the mower sorting that out today. And current plans to make hay in that field. Looking at the prices that are available, obviously silage would make us quite a bit more money if we were to sell it, and we certainly won't. We'll need some of the hay that we make, but not a lot. We also need to drop a bale on the feed point for the horses, so I'll just pause here, get out of there. If we have a look at the animals, oops, the animals there. So the animals have eaten all their hay. They've got plenty of oats, so they're not out of food, but they've finished off the hay bale that they had going. So we need to pop over and take care of that, which we might do in a minute. First, let's grab this and get rid of that rock and the couple of stones, the couple of stumps. So the other thing Jake's been talking about is, with this business, is sort of setting up their ability to create firewood. There's a piece of equipment that Jake plans to buy, which is about 45,000, and we probably need to upgrade the equipment for lifting and moving logs and the like. And so what he's thinking there, actually Boof was really helpful, and suggested that the guys at the mine, which we haven't been to, it's over there on the hill, got another one stuck on there. Yeah, there is. Yeah, the guys at the mine use they use a Volvo wheel loader, just an older model. But anyway, Boof seemed to think that he could talk to them and to Eddie, and they could come up with one that we could lease pretty attractively. Ideally, Jake's had his eye on a Merlot telehandler. That's what he's really keen to get for the farm. But they sort of come in by the time he gets a couple of options and things on it, somewhere between 90 and 100,000. He's been watching out for one to see if one pops up in the sale, because second-hand would do just as nicely, but he hasn't seen one. So the idea of leasing this older Volvo for the moment might be a really handy stopgap. So that's the plan. It's taking care of most of the stumps here. There's one we know we've missed over near the log pile. We're not going to drive all the way back over for that at the moment. Let's load a few of these trees in the container. So this pile here that we're just driving past, that's all the little odds and ends that we'll take down to our little firewood sale point. And these ones here are the logs that have already been cut to the length to go in the container. I might just swing you onto a slightly more convenient angle. There we go. Oops, dropped him off the front. That was a bit of a nuisance. That's part of what we're talking about in terms of getting some slightly more, if this is really a silage tool more, or a brush tool rather than a log tool. Try and load it with the right size logs here. We'll just run the truck over to the other area and bring the tractor processor across and cut ourselves some more. About a third or a quarter full. So let's just set ourselves up here. Yeah, get the skid steer. I just got a driver to help us move it. And we'll just park him over here. Let's cut a few more, process a few more trees to the correct length. Not really close enough there, are we? Just back up. It's a bit better. Lay the head down. Just get the angle right. Turn it on. Does help to have the... And what are you going to grab? There we go. So just lift you up a fraction. Oops, wrong one. We want that guy, don't we? Just pull you out there and cut you off. Perfect. Wait for him to fall out of the way. Doesn't matter if we leave the small logs in the load. Lift you up a little bit. Bring you back. Whoops, wrong way. There we go. bit out there. There we go. That's better. Slightly neater stack than we managed last time. How many high can we stack it? Certainly once you get the hang of the different axes and buttons on the I want you out there somewhere. On the keyboard, it makes life a lot easier. Whoops. Oh, I didn't want you under there. That's the one I want. Much easier. Back round. Down. Grab another one. And as you can see, there are plenty that we need for this one. A bit longer, down we go. Up. And we've managed to clear quite a pile in a pretty short space of time, really, when you think about it. Much quicker than manually with the chainsaw without an enormous expense of a fully fledged. Now, just which camera can I get? I don't want that camera. I don't want that camera. I'll stick with this one. And back in. There is one we can grab there. So having filled a few containers now, Jake's kind of got this system down working for us. With that, we might leave that there for the minute. I think that's going to be enough this trailer load. Go and get the truck a little bit more conveniently placed. Actually come from the other side might be a little bit easier. Any luck, we can use the weight of the pile to help us lift. So we'll catch up in a minute when Jake's got the load in the trailer, in the container. I reckon one more. We've already sorted one little short one out of the pile. You can see next to the trailer there. One of those things you lift it up and realise that it's... Oops. Get off. There we go. This one's going to go close, I reckon. Maybe one more. If it's a good size. Took it. See if we can get a good one there. That one looks like the right size. I'm in the wrong angle now. And we're full. Okay. So what we might do is drop this here. Just run across the tracks here and fix that hay bale for the horses. And then we'll take the truck up to the container depot and sell, and that will comfortably give us enough cash for the things that we need to purchase. Doesn't look like there's a train coming. From memory, the hay, that feed point is just around the end here. And I think there is a bale sitting beside it. There it is. So if we push it somewhere like so, is that going to take it? Let's have a look. And now we've got pretty much half hay and half oats. So that'll work nicely. Let's go grab that truck. Okay, we're back at the truck. We should be able to just pop across the tracks here and whip up to that containment terminal. So we'll go and sell this, and I'll meet you back in town. Well, we did really well out of that one. We got just a tick under 50,000 for the container of wood, and then the environmental score is now a bonus, is now paying for a container, so that's working really well. Now let's duck in here and have a look at the bits of equipment that we're looking at. The first thing is this firewood processor for our new little business that we're setting up just around the corner from here. So we're going to buy one of these. There's no options on it, 45,000, and hopefully we'll make our money back without too much difficulty. It is only a container of wood after all. Now the other thing that he's been looking at, which might work pretty well, this goes on a front end loader, but it's kind of a neat sort of shape and might be really useful for manipulating those small bits of wood that we've got floating around the place. So we're going to buy one of those at 3,000, and then in wheel loader tools, we want to get something like this proper log pickup. So we'll buy one of those attached to the wheel loader. And also these shovel forks were quite useful, but to attach the other blade that we've just had, we need an adapter wheel loader to, what did we buy it as? Loader, front loader, telescopic to implement. Wheel loader to telehandler. Did we buy the telehandler version of it? I don't know. We'll sort that out in a second. So, oh, and we need to buy, to lease. Not thinking particularly clearly today, but this wheel loader that he's thinking about is this guy here. That might go quite nicely, and they will do a good deal on leasing it because it's not too expensive. We want the safety frame and the beacons, and we'll just put some wider tyres on it because it's working. Well, it's going to work helping us clear and also in the yard. So that might, oh no, we don't want to purchase. We want to lease because we're hoping something. So that'll work out at 417 a day, which I think is a pretty good deal. And it'll handle this equipment quite nicely. It's got a trailer hitch and a reasonable amount of weight sitting on the back here because they do use it for ore handling. So we can pick up some of this equipment here. Grab this bit first. I think it should tow that processor pretty well. Not that it's got far to go. We just oops, let's not unfold it, let's fold it up. There we go. So the little bit of land that they fenced and just sorted out, sort of did it as a bit of a joint project. Buff helped Jake out. It only took a little bit of effort. There was only a couple of trees on it and just needed a little bit of fencing. And there we go. There's our little timber yard. So Buff knew a bloke who could help out with the fence. They got a fancy little arrangement here. And all I need is some signage, but being next to the farmers market, I reckon it could work pretty well. So there's our little sell point and a little bit of storage for equipment and a couple of racks to put logs in. So it should do the job just nicely. And what they're hoping is that it's the first time they've had equipment in this yard. Oops, that didn't work very well. Got too close. Lift, lift. Why do you not want to turn? There we go. That's a bit better. So if we pop you sort of on an angle like so, I'm guessing. Let's unfold you. Now this firewood processor has a couple of different features. Oops, I can't drop it. It will lift it off the ground. There we go. It is powered, so So it will load small logs automatically, or you can manually place them. So we'll just experiment a little bit with that. Let's see here, and there's a little bit of variation on size. Let's try grabbing these two little tackers here. Get rid of those. That'll be our experiment for the smaller pieces. Whoops. You too narrow. Open up. Well, we got one. There we go. So let's stick you in the device. Come on. Drop out of there. You just want to be difficult. Oh well, it landed in the loading rack, so let's try that. Let's have a look at our instructions here. So we can load a tree log and it falls off. We can load a tree log. Whoops. Might be a bit small. So Z moves it up. B cuts it off. That one disappears. If they're too small, they will. Let's pop that over here. That might be a bit heavy for the operation in the yard here. Why will it not drop that off? Let's go and get the other one. I'm pretty sure you won't cook onto there. No. Got a sneaking suspicion I bought the wrong one. Let's see. You should hook onto there. Except if I knock you over. Right. You hooked on there. And have I got the correct implement for it or not? I may have bought the wrong one. I did buy the wrong one. I bought the front load one. So after a little bit of messing around with adapters, we have a combination that works. So the tool we haven't changed. I just needed to adapt from wheel loader to telehandler and then telehandler to front loader because I couldn't get an adapter from wheel loader to front loader directly. And front loader is the version of this tool that I wanted so that I can put it on the Allis if needs be. Just creates some flexibility in the use of this tool. And what I'm hoping we'll find if we use this, it's a little bit easier to operate if we can just get the blade under a log there. There we go. Get it out of our racking. We've got one at the front that we don't really want. And he'll fall off nicely. But if we come back to our firewood processor, we should be able to pop this on the chute. Let's get our alignment roughly correct. Controls are backwards when I'm around that side, and I'm too far away. Go that way, don't I? So turn you around. Come on, tip out. There we go. So we should be able to get in here. And the Z key will slide the log forward for us. The B key will chop him off. And the V key will split. O, whoops, that's O folds, that lifts the log up. Let's try, look at our, the unloading belt is U. There you go. So that should now enable us to slide the log forward, cut him off, and split. Slide him forward, cut him off, and split. It's just a little bit of figuring out we're only doing 50 centimeter logs here at the minute. 50 centimeters long into 4 cuts, which seems to be making some reasonable firewood for us. But we'll just see what one 6 meter log generates just to get the hang of things. Okie dokie. So if we come out, we see our pile there. Now somewhere around here I've got a sell wood. There it is. A sell wood trigger. I should be able to sell the pile. And that was $2,800 for that log. Now there was a little bit more messing around and handling than if we just sold it at the sawmill, but it did the trick. We can just sell regular timber in here as well. So if we take this little piece, which I can pick up at 65 kilos, it does, and find my wood trigger here, I can sell little pieces of wood in there as well. So as a working little business, how much is that guy? 79 kilos, we'll get rid of you too. So I think that proves the concept for Jake. That's going to work quite nicely. For now though, we'll take that back and turn you off. We'll put our better log grapple on and buy another container, and Jake can set about filling another container when he gets a chance. Just drop that off there. But I think the Volvo will work fairly well, what we need it for at the present. And Silverrun Forest Farm has another little business to go on with, so that's come up pretty well. Jake's mighty happy with that lot. While Jake was in the store sorting out the container, he remembered the other thing that he was up at the shop to that was on the list to buy was a proper wood trailer, so that would give us options for taking wood to our little firewood facility, logs that we cut smaller and to length. So that was the plan. And Buff also dropped in to see how things were going, and he agreed to drive the Volvo back over, although it's a little bit slower coming down the road. So we've now got all our bits and pieces. Here comes the Volvo in the background. We've got all our bits and pieces back here where we need them. We can drop that little trailer off there and load that at our leisure. Now, as much as we did want to cut the grass, that might have to wait till next time with this rain. It'll make a bit of a mess cutting it now. We'll just keep cutting this area out at the end here. So that, oops, let's try picking the plough up. Oop, and with that, the rain stops. You can always predict that when you go to start another job. So because this field isn't actually marked out, I'm not inclined to put a worker on this one, so I'll just keep trundling across. But needless to say, the grass can wait till the next episode. It's been a pretty busy day getting that firewood business up and established, so Jake's feeling pretty good about things. Something else to talk to Paige about when she gets back. That one's been a little bit of a secret between him and Buff as they sort of tried to get things lined up, but it's come together nicely, so very happy with it. And this is going to be a nice little addition to this field too. Good extra bit of land that was going to waste. We can dress it up with some trees. Might plant a row of trees down by the water's edge here just to provide a bit of a barrier for erosion, rather than washing out topsoil off the field into the sound. Oops. But that's where we might leave it for the day, folks. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, stay safe, have fun. See ya.